Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing an art journal page in my Stamperia A5 little journal that I have been slowly working on. If you're unfamiliar, this cardstock, if you haven't played with it, is fantastic for a smaller size art journal notebook. It is available at a cherry on top. I will leave it linked down below. And my last video, we did this page together, which turned out fantastic. And so there's another kind of pre-made layout in here. Looks to be probably Dina Wakley paint in one of the turquoise colors. Gosh, I forgot the name, and of course I'm not gonna have it readily and near. And then this stencil as well is a big one from Dilutions, one of the 9x12s. It's probably simply called Circles because I know I have a bunch of them like kind of here. So that is what was previously done for this background. Sometimes I do like to prep pages because I know that this one, for instance, is already gesso. So gesso is the primer for most layouts so that the paint has something to stick to. And then this one I finished off when we made this one with the extra paint that was left over. I kind of just rubbed through the stencil one more time. So I do that from time to time because it's a good jumping off point. So in case you ever get intimidated, now I can kind of just turn to this and say, okay, this is what we're working with. And we'll probably do something similar today. Meaning with whatever extra paint I have, I will sort of flip through and then add it to the next one so that it's not just a stark white page to begin with. So far I have pulled out, definitely want to play with at the end, the paper glazes. These are from a picket fence. I hauled these in my cherry on top. I have a white, a silver, and a gold. I love these sort of paste and stuff. I love the ones from the Crafters Workshop. I love the ones from Simon Hurley. So I have these here. And so it's just to play with another version of it. I also do have the Vicki Boutin ones as well. And what else do I have close by? Anything by Tim Holtz. So we're going to see how these perform also. So we're going to work with these. These are always going to be, especially for the last portion, because if you recall in the last one as well, we played with the tacky one dry medium, this one, and then we did the foil. This is for that last metallic decorative edge. And so since these are metallic too, this will be the last step. At least I like to do that in my work. I've pulled out the Dina Wakley stencil. These are just bold phrases / words. This was hauled. This was on. I have the Sweet Rush collection from Vicki Boutin just because I thought the colors would go well if I needed just an embellishment. I have a picture from a magazine that I thought could work well. I have two transparencies. These are from Dina Wakley herself as well. I've seen fun things done with it, and I pulled out the circly ones because simply this has circles too. So I thought even if I lay it on top in some sort of fun alley way, that could be interesting. So like I said, just things to play with. I have a Vicki Boutin stencil as well. Does this one have a name? This one I believe was from Sweet Rush. So these two were from the same collection. And then some grungy Stampers Anonymous stamps to see if we add anything else. If you're familiar with Art Journal, I think they always encourage that sort of, layering aspect. Apply your paint first, add your collage elements, add, background imaging, stamping, just to kind of like, I always consider it like a grunge up the background, and then add on your focal images and such. So I'm thinking we'll do a little bit of that. We'll add something of this for some sort of title. And then this, I feel maybe the paper glaze motion where we add some hearts sprinkled across the top, and maybe definitely use a word with something else across the top, and that will finish off this layout. So let me also grab real quick because I know I'll make a mess. I have my craft mat from, I believe this one is Tim Holtz. So then in case I get any paint and stuff on the side, my desk is semi-protected. So let's see where this takes us. Let's get started. Okay, so let's have some art journaling fun. So, since I already have a pretty much dead background, all it is now is to do those layers to what I like to call it, like grunge it up. So we're taking the mark making stamp from Stampers Anonymous. I do believe this is like a Tim Holt collection one, but they're great for doing exactly this, kind of smushing it into some ink and randomly putting it around your page just to create interest. Like I said, just kind of scuff up the background a little bit just so that it's
it's not just the plain kind of pattern I have. But do not get me wrong, that's just a rule I follow. If you already did your background and you already did the white dots and you like it just like that, you do not have to do this step, okay? So do keep that in mind. I simply make these videos so that you can see inspiration and other ways to use more of your supplies. This layout itself is definitely a true mixed media collection, or spread, not collection, because mixed media in general just means that you use more than one medium. So already I have used paint, stenciling, ink, and stamping, so that's like 3. Here I am adding collage, so here we add, like, that's glue, that's 4. And that is kind of the beauty of doing art journaling, because none of it has to make rhyme or reason. It's art, it's interpretive, and it's playtime for you. So if you pick up an A4, or no, this is A5 mixed media journal, have fun. This is made for, and like I said, just to play, learn how to use your supplies, and that is a great thing. You don't, it's not like me who I do obviously tutorials for YouTube so that you can watch it, but you know, for anyone else, truly, if I didn't have my channel, I would still be doing this and no one would ever see these pages. So that's what I'm trying to, I guess, say, is that no one's going to see your art journaling, so no one to judge you or say it's not good. It's simply to play and enjoy your products that you buy. Even for someone like me who I buy clearly way too much, but I enjoy this process. I enjoy sharing with you. And so here on these acetate pieces as well, I knew that they took paint, so I'm taking more of Dina Wakley paint and using it on the side that will be not facing the outside. So this is going to be on the inside when I lay it down in front of the picture so that it doesn't come off. So that's why I was showing you flipped over. And I just chose purple and orange. They're just 2 contrasting colors. I had them probably close on my desk, which is why I went for them. I also know I wanted to add more color than just I think it's peacock blue is the color I used. And the white. So I knew I wanted to add some other color that would layer over that image. And again, I just had these new acetate pieces. They are from Dina Wakley Collage. I do believe they're just called Transparency Collage Sheets. So you don't have to use it as a full sheet like I did. This is just how I was going for it. And you saw me just use my tiny attacher right there to adhere it, because that plastic is, not to say weird, but if you did double-sided tape, you would see it when you put it back onto your artwork. So stapling it is best, or even if you have a sewing machine, you can do that. Now here's a part that I wanted to keep in so that you can see it. I used my stencil that I wanted to. I used that picket fence gel. I dislike this. I dislike this so much, as I'm still sitting here and I'm trying to show you what I use, and I literally, look, I take a baby wipe and I wipe it all off. And the only reason this was doable was because I did it on that acetate sheet. Granted, if I did do it on the picture itself, it would maybe grunge up the photo a little bit more, but you probably, especially when it's still being wet, can erase if you don't like it. So take that also as a tip. I wanted to leave that footage in, like me completely like thinking I wanted. I was like, oh, and it'll be white and it'll pop. It just looked too scattered or something. I just saw it and I was just like, no, it doesn't look good. It doesn't add to it. It makes it weird. Let me wipe it off. So here I am using the gold picket fence paper glaze and did it through the Dina Wakley stencil that did have the nice big bold words. And this worked out way better, liked it so much more. And so I do have it dry right now because it does have to dry. So I do come back to this layout. So on this side, I'm taking now my Posca paint pens. So these are acrylic paint pens, which I knew would work writing on the plastic, and just putting dots around those circles, just adding a little something. It's mark making. But I do go back in and I outline. You don't see it now with the micron. Here I go, all the verbiage.
Okay, that will wrap it up for now. This is still wet because I was going to start going around with a micron pen or a Pitt pen to outline everything so that it stands out more, but it's still too wet. And overall, really fun, interesting, layer upon layer. I love that I also hopefully kept in the footage of me wiping away said, paper glaze onto the kind of plastic collage sheet. Because it's on this plastic sheet, it was wipeable at that point, which was fantastic, because I really just didn't like the way it looked, because I was trying to get in between the lines and it just looked not well, in my opinion, just as an element that didn't add to it. But just as the transfer on top, kind of grunging up this photo, I added those dots with the Posca paint pen. My white one seems to be empty, so I didn't want to kind of like mess with it. Could just add some more texture on there. And then that whole stencil with the quote is fantastic. And I just want to outline it in a black so that we can see it, because you kind of lose it a little bit, but overall, super fun. So I will link as many of the products I use down below for your shopping convenience. Thank you so much for joining. Please subscribe if you haven't done so, and give this video a thumbs up. Till next time, everyone. Bye.